Welcome to the global product update of July 2020, and also a warm welcome to the community. For the first time, we will open up this format to you. So I will give you a few words about this format, what is this all about, and some key facts about it. We call it GPU, or Global Product Update, because we give to the company and now also to you an update on the status quo of things we are working right now on and things we will start next with. Also, we will give some updates on the roadmap if there are any updates. And the format will be held by the Shopware product managers. We will do it once a month. And those are no polished presentations. They are directly out of the company because it was an internal format before, and we now open it to the public, to you, to the community. Okay, so first of all, I will start directly and give you an update on what's happening in the services team. First of all, let's talk about the professional edition features. Last Tuesday, the CMS extension 1.4 was released, and this includes the scroll navigation animations. I showed you some video examples of that last time, and I will give you a live demo on that in a few seconds. Also, it now contains some advanced features for the steepness of the animation curve, and a neat little feature called bouncy scroll. Yeah, so I will start with a live demo now. As you can see here, I have my layout, and in the storefront, it's a normal layout with 3 sections. And I have now in the layout settings this area called scroll navigation, where I can activate the animated scrolling. And as you can see here now, I can't activate it. Why? Because of course I have to set some scroll marks first. So I will go into the section settings and set a navigation point. I already prepared it for the naming, and also to the second section activated there, and the third section. And now it's possible for me to activate or deactivate the animated scrolling. So I can choose between the different types of animation. Ease in out will be the standard standard behavior, because it's the most convenient and most pleasing. But there might be some examples where you would use linear animation, or only accelerating or only decelerating animation. I will just show it to you. You can also set a duration, and I'm going to save it and switch to the storefront. And now I have my scroll navigation, and as you see, when I click on it, you see it's animated. It not jumps directly to it, but it's an animation taking 1.5 seconds in this example. And it starts to accelerate and then decelerate because it's the ease in out. Another example would be maybe ease in. And let's change it to 800, just to show you how it changes. And so you see it just accelerates and doesn't decelerate at the end. Okay, let's switch it back to ease in out and also show you the advanced features. Right now, there's a value of 2, which is pretty low. Oh, I will change it to 1.5 seconds again, so it's better to see. And as before, you see it's very smooth, very constant, and the acceleration and deceleration is not that strong. But when I change it to, for example, a higher value, let's say 4, and reload it, you will see the acceleration and deceleration is much stronger than in the previous example. And also the bouncy scrolling feature I will show you. This might not be for everyone, but I think some people will like it. As you see, it will bounce at the beginning and bounce at the end. Yeah. So that's it for the scroll navigation, and I will change back again to my presentation. So that's what I showed you before. Another professional edition feature are the custom products, and we are working right now on iteration number 3, which will contain a lot of improvements. And first there will be, wait a second, I have to drink. First, there will be a little bug fix release soon, which will fix some problems in the together with the promotions. When you use custom products together with promotions, there were some problems, and those will be fixed soon. And also, there's ongoing work on this epic. Another thing the services team is responsible for is the migration. And there we have good progress in stability. And right now we are processing feedback from tickets and from the user bulletin board. Another update on PayPal. Also, there are bug fixes for the after order payment process. And we are working on the compatibility of custom products as a professional edition feature together with PayPal. And we are working on the integration of iZettle as a point of sales channel. And we are about 95% finished, and right now processing feedback we got from iZettle and PayPal. Also, I will give you a short glimpse in a video on the onboarding process for this sales channel. So let's start it. As you can see, it is just another sales channel, and you get into a wizard. And in this wizard, you can set the name, set the domain, select the product. If you want to have the same products like in your storefront, you can use it, or you can further filter it down with a dynamic product group. And you have some options to sync the pricing or to override the products you already might have in your iZettle in your local store. So then it's finished. We cut down the syncing process. Normally it would take a few seconds. And of course, you get a log for the syncing of the products and if something has failed there. Yeah, that's a short glimpse. And maybe next time I can already show you, I can show you it in live, in a live demo. And last but not least, Shopware Markets. At the Shopware Community Day, we told you that we start the beta phase, and we are looking for you. We want some beta testers. So if you are a store owner with an active Shopware 6 store, just write a mail to sales@shopware.com regarding Shopware Markets beta, and then we will give you feedback and call you out, so you can try Shopware Markets, of course, for free in the beta phase. Yeah, that's it for my part of the presentation. And I would stop screen sharing now.
So everyone should see my presentation right now. I will give you a short overview about the things we did on the enterprise team. So I will start with the last update. We released the 4.2.0 of the B2B suite. And I will now show you some functionality we implemented in this release. So let's start with custom order number. Our B2B suite offers the possibility to their debitors to define custom order numbers in their merchant dashboard. So you can select the order number from the shop and map them to your own order numbers. You can export them as XLS or CSV lists, or upload sheets to import those numbers, and you can define your columns and so on you want to have in those lists. So that's basically the feature overview about custom order numbers. It's finished by now. You can import those things also over API, and your debitors can manage their own order numbers now in the B2B suite of Shopware 6. The second thing is custom in-stock. So we released a custom in-stock functionality, and there is no admin module for it. So I will show you it in the database later on. First of all, we changed the stock of one example product to 100. And inside the database, I will give a debitor a specific in-stock of 1 for this product. And on the front end, without my login, the dropdown will show 100 products. And after login, I have the possibility to reduce the in-stock for custom debitors. Let me log in first and go to back to the product. And now I can only buy 1 of this product. So it's basically the feature to reduce the stock for certain debitors when using custom in-stock for your debitors. It's also possible to sync this via API. I just mocked this inside a database to have an example for you, and you can use it from now on in the latest B2B version. So the next thing is the sales representative functionality. This is first done in administration. You have to mark a customer as sales representative. And then afterwards, there will be a new tab inside the customer where you can assign debitors to this representative and save it. And then you can go to your storefront, and after login, there will be an overview of your debitors you assign to, and you can log in as this debitor and place orders and so on. So when you have some employees that were driving to your customers and they want to get your orders, create orders directly in the name of this customer, is possible with this functionality. So when we started working on the offer module, so it's still work in progress. We started with the admin module and storefront view, and some things are already done, like the listing overview, and we started working on the admin detail view, and in the storefront, the listing is also done, and we are working on the storefront detail. The next step in this integration will be a checkout integration, where you can place these offers and communicate with your with the shop owner, and the API integration so that you can create offers over API and so on. And I will give you some short update on the enterprise roadmap. It will be quite short because it was the main topic of my talk on the community day, so you can have a look at the talk. But I will give you a short update on the status of the things I showed you in this talk. So in terms of publishing workflows, the conception is done and the estimation is done, and we're currently working on the resource planning and discussing how we will split this feature into multiple releases, for example. And in terms of performance essentials, the conception is also done, and we are working on an estimation as soon as possible. So the next steps will be adding it to the public roadmap as soon as we are sure how many resources we want to use in this epic, and how many days we will need to spend on this epic. And for sure, we need to start developing in the next steps. To give you a short overview about the core concepts I worked recently on, I have a new slide or an ending slide of my presentation. So I worked on some kind of payment workflow improvements, because I've got some feedback from our sales department and from customers that they want to have some changes in the process. So I talked with some customers, and we did a conception together. So we want to improve the payment workflow a little bit, so that maybe a payment email will be sent out directly to the customer, and the workflow is a little bit more transparent for the customer. So I've got the conception is done, the estimation is done, and we're currently in terms of in the process of resource planning. And I worked on some kind of wish list conception, so that you might be able to save your cart for later, to add products to a wish list and buy them later on, and so on. So it's the conception is nearly done, and we're working also on estimation. So the next steps in terms of this concept is challenging it for the for the public roadmap. So discussing when we want to implement it, and if we want to implement it in this whole the concept is about, and for sure begin developing here too. So that's from my side, and I think now Marcel will take over.
Yes, thanks, Moritz. So now my presentation should be visible and not the speaking notes, right? Okay. So yeah, I want to give you a short overview of the platform topics, and I want to begin with a very, very short overview of the topics for the next minor version, which will be published in just a few weeks. Yeah, horizontal and vertical text calculation. In the sales channel module, I can define how my VAT is calculated, either by item or by the total amount of my shopping cart. So that's a very nice option here if you can take advantage of this feature for yourself. Template for essential characteristics. You can define a template to configure all necessary characteristics of a product, to display them in the checkout process or in the storefront. And yeah, this is more like a legal thing, for example, for Germany. Right now, it's only possible to duplicate products without variants. With the next version, the duplication of variants will also be available. Of course, this will be done with a little batch processing or something, so that even bigger variant products can safely be duplicated. Display variant options in all views. With this epic, the variant options and groups are displayed wherever it makes sense. So this affects both the storefront and the administration, so that the shop operator can better define which variant is the right one. And this is, of course, also very useful for every shop user in the storefront. Polishing products. We want to polish up the existing modules. This is mainly about small improvements that should improve the overall impression of the module. And we want to improve the error handling, for example, but also the property assignment is to be improved, beside a few fixes for the product overview. But this is only a small part of all fixes we have planned for this release. Last but not least, we did a lot of onboarding improvements, which means that we want to simplify the start with the shopware. You can, for example, select the countries you want to support in the installation process. Also, every country of the world is now available in shopware by default. We also implement a collection of taxes for nearly every European country, so you don't have to take action here anymore. Additionally, there are now much more assignments during the installation, so that the user does not have to take care of it himself. For example, the assignment of shipping cost pages or the assignment of mail templates to the sales channel, etc., etc. So that's it for this version. We will, of course, share more detailed information about this new version through our website and the other channels. As you might have noticed, we will deliver much faster feature versions in the future. So you don't have to wait too long for more interesting features to come. And now a little overview of the next 6.2.3 release. 80 tickets were merged in this version, including 2 blocker and about 15 critical issues. And we also 46 tickets of which were external contributions. So yeah, that's a great success here. Thanks to the community to this great release. Yeah, also we did a few performance improvements in this version. For example, the file size of the HTTP cache is now 5 times smaller, which is very good. And also we fixed an issue with MariaDB, in which we increased the filter performance by, for example, when you have 50,000 products, then it's about from 3 seconds to about 80 milliseconds or something. And also we fixed the performance issue with the search with a higher amount of products. So that is also fast again. So this release is really worthwhile. Now I want to show you 3 new features we are working on next. Individual sorting. With this feature, you can customize your sorting throughout the shop and define default sortings. A sort can consist of several sort criteria, so that even complex situation can be represented. A use case is, of course, that individual products should be positioned further forward in the listing. This is possible by supporting individual custom fields. And the sorting can not only be set globally, it can also be different via the CMS listing element, for example. Even the setting can be overwritten in the categories again. And now I brought you some screen design. So this is the overview of the settings module, and there you can see the new sorting popularity, and down below you can see all the sorting criteria and the order. Of course, you can individually override the default sorting options by each CMS element. So by each listing CMS element. So then you can define very individual sortings for each listing page, for example. Cache rounding. Yeah. In the future, you will be able to set the rounding behavior in Shopware on this basis, on the basis of country and currency. Several rounding intervals are supported, and if a country does not have, for example, 1 or 2 coins, it can be rounded to the next 5, 10, 50, or to the next big integer number. I can optionally set this rounding behavior for the next for net customers if it's desired, for example. Additionally, you can configure if every position in the shopping cart should be rounded or only the grand total. With these settings, many rounding specification of different countries can be implemented. Shopware can therefore react very flexible to all rounding requirements in the future. And now the screen designs of this module, it's also in the settings, and you can see the Danish krone, for example, and you can define the rounding interval here, the decimal number, the conversion factor, and also give some new options to it, like rounding to each position or only round the grand total and stuff like this. Down below you can see that each default rounding setting can be overwritten by countries. So that's very flexible here. Merchant registration. You all already know this feature from Shopify 5. So as a customer, you can apply to become a dealer by registering separately. Technically, you can even register for any customer group. The approval process will be possible via the administration, of course. And this could look like this. On the detail page of the customer, you can simply approve the request you can see in this blue box. And this could be done by sending an improvement email to the merchant. Of course, you will have an overview of all requests for approval. And that's it.
Okay, so I will take over the cloud part, and I will start with the concept for the App Store. So within this term, within the next few months, we want to release a new App Store, which is an integrated community store for Shopware Cloud, so to say. And I will share the first screen designs. So you can see the new app module with the store listing. In the store listing, we have all the apps in it. And of course, you can filter by categories, filter by ratings, and sort by rating or name. So that's the idea here. If you are interested in an app, you can see the detail page, which is very sophisticated. So you can see, of course, the pricing and those things, but you can also see the descriptions. You can see a gallery with images, and you can also see information, ratings, FAQ entries, or changelog items. So all the things you can also see in the community store right now. If you choose to buy an app, you are informed about the permissions the app will take. For example, if it wants to have permissions to create products or to edit orders or something like that. So an app can access your API, and you are informed what the app wants to access. And then, of course, you can also buy the app from within Shopware. And we have a modal which informs you about the price of the monthly price of the app, as well as the terms and conditions you have to check. And then you can subscribe to the app. It will show in your My Apps overview. And from there, you can deactivate the app. You can delete the app. You can see the permissions if you want to. So if you want to double check, for example, you can still check the permissions, and you can also create support entries from here. So if there are issues with the app, you can just create support tickets just as you can from the Shopware account. And we also will have a little overview of the support tickets you have created, so you can see which tickets you have created and which status they have. All this is closely linked to the Shopware account, so we see Shopware Cloud just as an entry point to Shopware account because we have all the processes there already. So if customers are already used to Shopware accounts, they can still use Shopware account for your support tickets. And if customers are new to Shopware Cloud, they will be guided to Shopware account from this listing, for example. The next concept we have is Shopware payments rejected. This is a case when you register Shopware Cloud and you want to use Shopware payments with all the payments it offers. It might happen that our payment provider rejects your shop because you are selling, I don't know, fake Corona tests or weapons or something like that. So there are businesses we are not interested in collaborating with, and we will reject them. And in those cases, the information that you have been rejected was not very transparent. So we will improve on that. So as soon as we have the information that you've been rejected, there will be a warning modal after you log in. And also there will be a notification on the dashboard. So this is a live dashboard. If you are already live and you are being rejected, you will get an information here. Or this is the case if you are still building your shop, you will also get an information. And again, of course, also in the payment overview, you will get this information. So this is probably not to happen very often, but if this happens, you're informed right away, and then you can pick one of the fallback payments we offer. So like for example, invoices. The next topic we had in the last sprints is custom domains improvement, because we found out that in Shopware Cloud, some customers have problems setting up their custom domains. So if they want to bring their own DE domain, for example, shoes.de, they can set up it in Shopware Cloud, but some customers are a bit confused about the modules they have to use there. So we linked it in a better way. So from the storefront in the domain overview, you can set up your custom domain. Then in the custom domain modal, you will see the documentation where you can find more details, and the documentation also has instructions, for example, Strator and other very common domain resellers. So it will tell you what to do in order to set up your custom domain. And then through the process, you will also always have this documentation linked. And then once you are finished, you can go back to your storefront sales channel. And then after another click, you can set up the custom domain you just set up or you just created. So it makes the process more smooth. And yeah, some of you might already know that in the future, we also want to resell domains by ourselves. So that makes it even more simple for our customers. But currently, I think this will take away a lot of questions and will guide the customer in a better way. Yeah, next up is a demo mode, which already was released for the Shopware Community Day cloud release. So if you're set up a cloud shop, by default, it will be more kind of empty. So we don't have any example products in a cloud shop, just because we want you or the customer to be able to start right from the scratch. But if you're interested in a demo environment, you also can do that. So in the cloud shop, there is a card on the dashboard which says, hey, do you want to take a first look? Then switch to demo mode. The important information is that in demo mode, you can create products, but when you switch back to cloud mode or to default mode, the shop will be resetted. So you have to start from scratch again. So this is an important information that we will tell the customer here. And when he still decides to go into demo mode, the shop will be moved to demo mode. And then afterwards, you have all the demo data that you are already familiar with from Shopware 6. So you can use Shopware Cloud as a demo environment for your company or for your partners or whatever for pitches. And that's the way it is done. And if you then want to go live with your cloud shop, you can reset it in the admin dashboard again. So here is a card which asks you if you want to reset your shop, and then afterwards it will reset it back to the default mode, and then you can go live, set up your payments, and so on. Yeah, the next important topic is test orders. So as you know, Shopware's cloud model has a revenue share in all plans. So there's a monthly fee, or in case of the free plan, there is not even a monthly fee, but there's always a revenue share. And if you want to create a test order, so for example, you set up your shop, you have all the products in it, and now you want to just check if everything works smoothly. You don't want to pay a revenue share on that. So that would be, that's not a nice case for shop owners if they create a test order for 1,000 euros and they have to pay a revenue share on that. So the case now is that if you're logged in as an admin in your Shopware cloud shop and you go to the front end, it will tell you that you're in a test environment. And then if you create the order, it will not say order now, but it will say create a test order now. And then from there, you will also go to the test mode of our Shopware payments integration. And it will also tell you that, and then will ask you which status you want to set for your test order. So it's fully functional for the Shopware part and also for the Shopware payments part. It will not invoice any money from your accounts and will just create a test order. And we will also not invoice the revenue share on that. And the test order is always applicable if you're logged in as an admin in the Shopware administration. So it will always work for that. And if a customer visits your shop, of course, he or she will not get a test order. So it's only for you as a logged in admin user. The next topic we have is status.shopware.store. That's a new status page we built for Shopware Cloud, and it will give you an information of if all systems are operational. So if you are experience issues, you can just check this page and see, okay, there's already a known issue, or you can also see, no, we don't know of any issue, and then you can contact us. And here you can see our uptime over the last 90 days. And then if you scroll down a bit, you can also see past incidents. So as you can see on June 29th, we had problems with our cache cluster, and on 27th, we had a heavy load on our database. So we really try to be very transparent here so that whenever there's something going on in the infrastructure, you will be informed about it. Yeah, the last topic I brought today is some app system improvements. So as you know, we want to make the Shopware Cloud environment very extensible and provide a big number of apps. And for this, of course, we need a very nice app system which works well for the development community. And so we improved on that as well. The first topic is that we are now able to ship snippets for themes. So if you are creating a cloud theme, which is like contained in the app format, you now also can ship snippets. This was not possible beforehand. Also, we created a concept for cases where you switch from Shopware Cloud to Shopware On-Prem, or where your on-prem shop gets a new domain. Until now, this could have broken some apps which are relying on the domain name. And now there's a migration system that will tell an app, okay, the cloud shop shoe.de now has a new domain name. It's now called shoe.com. Please talk to us in that domain in future. And then we improved on the dev docs. So we got a lot of feedback internally as well as externally. And we tried to get all the feedback into the documentation so that you have a full realistic overview of what to do if you want to write a Shopware app. So if you're wondering what the writing an app feels like, check out our documentation at docs.shopware.com to get a overview of our app system. And the last part I have is that we now introduce some app lifecycle events. These are events you as an app developer can subscribe to if you want to be informed whenever your app is installed in a Shopware Cloud shop, or when it's uninstalled or disabled. So in all these cases, Shopware will notify your webhook, and then you can take action and process, for example, the install event, and then register your shop at your internal logic. Yeah, that's the topics I brought today from the cloud system. Aaron, do you want to take over again?
Yeah, perfect. Thanks for the presentations. To the community who you are watching, maybe if you have some feedback on this new format, just drop us a line. And we are interested in what you think about this format. And yeah, that's pretty much it for us now. And so now we say goodbye. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Goodbye. Thank you.